Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I do apologize for starting a little late each time. One of the reasons I try to start a few minutes late is because with Twitch, um, I want to make sure that I don't jump in and start going with everything while anybody's on a commercial break. And I can see more clearly as to when people are on commercial break with Twitch. So I want to give that grace to anybody who has to watch the commercials or anything like that before I just start diving into everything, you know? So tonight, Final Fantasy XIV, I am on my main character tonight, just like I standardly am on Friday nights. For my alt character, that is a Sprout, I will be live with her next on Sunday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Tonight, I will still, there may be some different things that come up that might be friendly to Sprouts and stuff, because I'm not going to be doing MSQ or anything like that. I am completely caught up on MSQ. I just won't be doing, low-level MSQ or anything like that, because, I'm on my max level character. With that, let me get her standing here. One of the things that some people might not know is that what I was actually doing. So some people have asked me if what I just did was a hack. It's not. This is one of the furnishing items that you can use the doze emote on. And oh, you could totally come photobomb Felicia. That's totally fine. But this is one of the housing items that you can use doze on and actually lay down on it. So you can just use the doze emote. And what it does is it treats it just like a bed and you lay down on it. And then if you use change pose or /C pose, you change your position and lay in a different way, however you would like to. Depending on what race you are, will be the different positions that you can lay in. Hi, Felicia. I see your giant-sized wolf back there behind me. Can't do it with all furnishing items. For instance, this is a similar looking furnishing item, but if I use doze on it, I'm just going to be standing and looking like I'm dozing. It is just certain... I'm going to stop doing that because that noise that my character's making sounds extremely inappropriate. But it's just certain housing items that it treats like a bed, and that is just one of the housing items that you could treat like a bed. You could also do it with actual bed housing items and stuff. That's just like one of the things that like people have thought I've hacked on. Another thing is stuff like what I have here, being able to sit on furnishings like this. You can sit on specific things if you're clever enough about it. Now, I don't think I did it in this case, but I'm going to go down here into the basement and kind of show it here. Let's see. I have... I like to place like hidden benches, for instance. And the reason I like this bench is you could sit on this bench, but then you could place it underneath the thing, so you can't really see it all that well. So like, I'm going to place it there. And those circles, the reason I wanted to place it in the hot tub instead of up above is because with those cabinets, you wouldn't be able to see the bench. But here, at least you could see those two circles. But if I stand on them and then sit, it makes it look like I'm more properly sitting in the tub, as opposed to using, like, sit here and doing a ground sit. But you can place it within other items and stuff, too. So, like, if I put it... I'm going to place it, like, right on the edge there. I can't jump. It's going to make it more properly seem like I am sitting, like my character is going to stop at the item above it instead of going all the way down to the hanging bench. But it recognizes that I can sit because there is a bench underneath of there. So that's a way to get some of that hacky feel without actually having any sort of hacks. Let's see, I'm going to pull that back out and... Oh, that's why that wasn't lined up. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that because that's gonna bother me. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I need. Nope. I don't think that's gonna be big enough. Let's do a panel. Okay. And again, this is not actually cheating. This is just taking advantage of some of the game's glitches. Okay, I actually have 2 there. I forgot. It's been a while since I've decorated this house. So I want to get those 2 things back to where they are, back onto the stage panel, so I can more properly adjust it to not just line up with this stuff, but also hopefully not show that stupid bucket, because that bucket was going to seriously bother me. And how this glitch works is this is a the floating glitch. So basically what I'm using is I'm doing stage panel to place these wall items. These would typically snap onto a wall. However, I'm going to make it so that they are just floating there and not actually snap to a wall. So I have removed the toggle for toggle counter surface placement on or off. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a hold of this and wiggle it. Grab a hold of the other one and wiggle it. And then move the stage panel away. Now, it didn't cover the buckets like I wanted it to, so I'm actually going to put it back, pull it a little bit forward, and try again. Nope, not far enough. Toggle that back on. And this little button is right next to this big storage item. It's this tiny little one that it almost looks like a Windows key. That's what I'm toggling on and off before I do this little wiggle. Gotta do the wiggle to make it unsnap from that surface before pulling it away. Then you can pull it away and la-di-da. Now I can put the stage panel back in my storage, and now I don't see the ugly bucket. Slightly adjust that to hide things a little bit better there, and there we go. I did not like that the bucket was showing, but then these were not lined up. Things needed to be squared up a little bit better. Like it was going to seriously bother me if they weren't squared up. But anyway, that was a complete and total side tangent that I just got on because I was just laying down. And went down there to show off the sitting stuff. But you could also use doors on like regular beds like this one. Like this is actually a bed housing item. Bed housing items, you can use doors on it and your character will actually lay down and pretend like they're falling asleep. So you don't have to go purchase the like dead emote. Pretend like you're sleeping with specific housing items. Like the bed, you could do it with that bench that I had outside, you could do it with. Not all benches. And then there are certain benches that if you hide them under stuff, you can make it so that you're sitting on housing items. Like that one's one of my favorite things to do. There will probably be more places around this house that I'm going to add little pinion niches underneath the things just to allow me to sit on different furnishings all over the place. Not on this one though. Not here. This is a shrine. That wall glitch was how I managed to get these windows to stay right here because these wooden this wooden wall is made up of the same planted wall partitions that I was working with down in the basement, those lime green things. These are the same ones, just dyed a different color. How I got these windows to show up properly is they're actually floating the same way, just backwards. So that way their back isn't to the wall, they don't get snapped to the wall. They're actually facing the wall. These ones are actually hung straight up on the wall, but if I recall correctly, I think I may have had to do the same thing with these windows too. They might just be hanging over top of the original windows. Way the original window frame did it come through. Like you could kind of see it a little bit in the cracks there as I move my camera a little bit, but you can't actually see the round frame because I have these square windows hung backwards and actually a little bit away from the wall. The store actually windows hung backwards. Okay, enough of housing tangent. I don't remember. Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, why do I hear the regular housing music? I don't remember enabling that. It was because my game was acting weird there for a moment and decided to re-enable it and now gone back to the regular city-state music. I was like, excuse me? Alright, so I'm going to do a few daily things that I have not done in a while. First and foremost, I am going to start with doing some of my Beast Tribes quests. Sorry, I am distracted at the moment because my toddler is not wanting to go to bed and I have her monitor and she's being absolutely ridiculous. And I can see her on the monitor being absolutely ridiculous. That was distracting. Okay. But I need to do the Beast Tribe quest. Or I'm sorry, Society quests. Not Beast Tribe, Societies. I need to make sure I do my Society quests because I know so many of you want to know more about the Society rewards. However, I can't show off all the Society rewards if I'm not properly maxed rep, right? So I need to make sure I go through and get the max rep because, like, right now, let's see. So my reputation with all the Dawn Trail ones, yeah, I am only Bloodsworn with the Pelu Pelu at the moment. So I can show off some of the Pelu Pelu stuff, but I need to finish with the Yokoi and the Mamalcha, get their reps all the way up, and then I can do more of that stuff. So let me actually go to Mamook because I do want to make sure I would work on the Pelu Pelu because, and I highly recommend anybody that is doing it for leveling purposes to go ahead and even after you've maxed your rep with them, if you're leveling, go ahead and continue doing your society quest. Because that daily reset happens every day, but you get quite a bit of experience from doing just 3 quests. And after a Realm Reborn, they're much quicker, and especially after Stormblood, they are pretty dang fast. But with a Realm Reborn, they take forever, and there are a ton of those, and I'm definitely not maxed rep with them at the moment. So I want to make sure I save some credits for those because those are ones that I've probably been asked the most about, and they're the ones I have procrastinated the most, just because they take so long to get, which is why I get asked the most about them. Like, I am totally willing to admit that, like, I get why I'm asked about it. But I'm also like, darn, I'm getting asked about them, and I've procrastinated them for years. Because it's like no one wants to do them because some of them are locked behind fates. And it's like no one wants to wait on those fates to spawn or have to spend time getting those fates to open or anything like that. So I'm like, I get it. Get it. I totally get it. Okay, let's see. Let's see. That one is right there. One's up there. Okay, I'm gonna do one's over here by it's right here. That way I can at least talk to them, see if they need me to go do something else. Let's see. Ah, you've brought my food, thank you. I injured my foot, you see, and I was forced to rely on a kind soul to make the delivery. It's just, I was watching those young ones out at the gatoring night and day, doing their part to build a better Mamook. And I thought I should be doing something too, so I went out to help pick some herbs, slipped on a rock, and well, now look at me, not as spry as I once was, I'm afraid. What was... Okay. Sorry, Neris, I promise I'm not ignoring you. You are absolutely correct. The kick messages did break again. Which I can't say I'm surprised, and I don't know that it's necessarily a kick issue. Because like right before or like right after I hit go live and I hadn't actually swapped into seeing where I'm talking or anything like that, StreamerBot was acting up. And when I moved off of Mint to Nobara, I swapped to StreamerBot because Caster Labs just doesn't work right with Nobara because of its compositor. And of course, StreamerBot's like, oh, you have to re-authenticate. Hopefully I'm not stuck in an endless loop of authenticating, because I feel like that's always where I get stuck. Let's see. Quick integration status says ready. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let me send a testing message. Okay, so we got Twitch, we got YouTube. Where are you, Kick? Come on, Kick. We can do it, Kick. We can do it. Come on. Send that just through Kick. Come on, StreamerBot. Okay, so it... that is just absolutely bizarre. That it's like, it... I don't understand why the overlay. Okay, let me... let me Do. Like, it's so bizarre because it's like it's even with, like, it's not just the overlay, but it's also, let me reconnect that. Yeah, it's like, it's the chat within StreamerBot too. Like, I could see, like, because I could see with my chat feed in StreamerBot, it doesn't show. But when I look at Kick, I see the messages that I was sending through that StreamerBot chat. Like... I don't know where we would be, Neris. I don't know where we would be. I mean, I feel like I'm always the problem child, you know? Like, I've always got to be having some sort of technical difficulties. And it's like, you know, I feel like on the days that Kick is being fine, I'm having a technical difficulty somewhere else, you know? So it's like, it makes sense for the day to be the day. Like, it's been a few weeks since Kick has been fussing up on me. And of course, like now, I mean, everything aside from this cursor issue, like, I still haven't fixed this dang cursor issue. Which is now even weirder because, yeah, it doesn't look like Stream is showing my cursor no matter what screen I'm on now. Whereas before it was, I had to go over to like one of my side screens for getting my cursor over top of the game, and then I had to watch OBS to be like, okay, where am I actually pointing? But now it looks like no cursor's being captured at all. And yeah, I totally told it to give me a cursor. Not the point. But yeah, I don't know where we would be if we weren't having issues with Kick or having some sort of technical difficulties, you know? Like, they're just... With me, there's always going to be some technical difficulties somewhere. Which, I don't absolutely hate. I like to fix things that are broken. And if things aren't broken, well, I will find something that I think is broken to fix. Like, to give a prime example, like, many people, I have smart appliances around my house. And I decided recently that I didn't like the system that I had set up. So I've been going down a rabbit hole of setting up Home Assistant. Do I need Home Assistant? No. Do I need to go down that rabbit hole? No. Is there a rabbit hole that I'm going down anyway? Hell yes, it is. Like, I've spent the last several weeks just messing and tweaking with a whole bunch of stuff in Home Assistant that most people don't need. I'm to a point where I'm like, I want to get smart toothbrushes because I saw someone on Reddit made a page that has their family set up with their toothbrushes and like rates how well they brushed their teeth that day based upon how long they brushed their teeth with their Oral-B toothbrushes. I'm like, oh my god, I want to set that up. I feel like I need that. Is my brush teeth, like, do I have something wrong with how I brush my teeth? No. But do I feel like I need to go down this rabbit hole and set this all up and spend a week setting it up? Absolutely, I do. It's a necessity in my life. It's just how I operate. I feel like I always have to find something that is either broken or be unsatisfied with something and feel like I need to fix it. That's just how I work. Now, could I have done without Windows being a complete and total crapshoot a few months ago? Like, I could have definitely done without that. But I'm also partially happy because I'm like, I'm much happier on Linux. Yeah, I haven't gotten into, like, the Workday stuff with Home Assistant. Like, I honestly haven't done too much as far as automations in Home Assistant either. Because I always could think of, like, exceptions for when I don't want those automations to happen. So I'm like, I end up not setting them up. Like, originally I was like, oh, well, if no one is sensed at home, turn off all the lights. Well, The problem is that there could totally be a time where, like, I'm not sensed at home, but lights need to be on. And I'm like, okay, I can't automate that. Like I have the automation ready. I'm like, I need to turn that off because there just might be times where the lights just need to be there. Like things like that. I'm like, okay, I can't quite fine tune that automation at the moment. But yeah, what led me down that water hole was I wanted to fix some of the stuff with how my smart home stuff was working, but I was also like, I wanted a better way to organize my schedule along with my family schedules and everything, so I could keep better track of where everyone is, why they're supposed to be where they are, and all that stuff. And I was just using Google, I think I have like 25 Google calendars or something like that, and I was like, this is just a complete and total mess. And I didn't want to throw it off for some of my family members because I wanted them to still be able to use their single Google Calendar that they are looking at. But I was like, I don't want to have to figure out these 20-something calendars. And I was like, it was better for me to set up a home assistant, to be able to set up an app on my phone, to set that up with Tailscale, so that way I can still connect to it even if I'm not home. Like, I organize everybody's to-do list. Yeah. That totally makes sense. And like after, like especially to use it for work, because after I started diving into a lot of the home assistant stuff, like my husband saw some of the stuff that I was doing and he was like, I wonder if there are ways that we could start integrating that into our work stuff, or have our customers start integrating it into their stuff. And like he kind of started going down the rabbit hole in a different sense, but also with me. Like I was going down that rabbit hole for home purposes, and he was starting to go down that rabbit hole for work purposes. And I was like, oh yeah, you could totally do stuff like that. Like I could think of quite a few ways that his customers could totally utilize things like Home Assistant for their stuff. But yeah, it's yeah. Whoops. Looking on the wrong things here. I know he's not asking for high quality. I'm making them high quality anyway. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Like I think like my thought process is it's like there are probably better things that could be used for or that could be used in the instances that like my husband was thinking about for his work. But I was like, it could work. But I was like, it's really more for the purposes like what I was trying to do, because I was like, I wanted a smart calendar, and I was like, I am not going to pay a premium for something like a skylight calendar and then have an $80 yearly subscription for it. Like, I don't like yearly subscriptions. I think they're dumb. I think they're terrible. Hate them with a burning passion, especially when it's like it'd be one thing if it was only a yearly subscription or whatever, but it was like, no, I'm paying a premium for this product, and then I have to pay a yearly subscription on top of that. Like, no, that is absolutely ridiculous. That was why I started going down a rabbit hole of trying to find something that would work, and then I came across Home Assistant, and then it was like, oh well, you could do all of this stuff with all of your smart devices across your house, and you could do this, and you could. And it's like, I just started off with a very simple thing that I wanted to do, and the further down the rabbit hole I go, the worse it gets. I'm like, I'm just sucked in and completely stuck. Yeah, I'm like, I'm just not going to pay a yearly subscription for that. It's very similar to the principle of like why I won't buy Razer products. I'm not going to pay a premium for a product just for it to break within a couple months. I have not had a Razer product that lasted me more than a few months. Now, admittedly, like I will completely admit, I liked my Razer headset that I had. I did have a Razer headset. I did like it. And admittedly, probably not Razer's fault that those broke because my cat chewed on the cable. So since then, I've always used wireless headsets. However, I had several other Razer products, including multiple keyboards that would last a few months and they'd break. And I'm like, I would rather buy a different brand at the same price and know that's going to last for several years than pay this high price just because it says Razer or has the snakes on it. Like Oh, yeah, I Google Home, I have a bunch of Google Home stuff. I never subscribe to it, so yeah, I don't get any of the history or any of that stuff, and Yes, you did hear Razer bashing. You did hear Razer bashing. I am not a Razer fan. At all. Do not like them. Like, the Razer bashing started with talking about products like Skylight calendars because you pay like several $100s for a Skylight digital calendar, but then you have a yearly subscription. And I'm like, I'm not a person that's going to pay a premium for a product and then have to pay a yearly subscription. And it's similar for why I don't like Razer. I don't like Razer because you pay a premium for a product, you expect it to last more than a couple months. And they break so fast and easily. And I'm not going to pay a premium for a product that clearly they don't build right just because it says Razer on it. Like, yes, it has a cool name. Yes, it has a cool logo. But I'm not paying... I don't want to be on that mount. Oh, that's a much cuter mount. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not paying those kind of prices for... Ugh. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That is 100% what it's like. Like, any of my past cars that, like, I had one car that had GPS, or had GPS as an option. I was like, I don't even want GPS as an option. Because I'm not going to pay for the subscription for having the GPS updated. I'm not going to do it. And I will just pay the $100-something for Garmin and make sure that it has lifetime maps with that purchase. I ended up paying for one that had lifetime maps and traffic. So long as before I made a trip, I had it up to date, it would tell me about any traffic or anything like that. I'm like, I would rather pay the couple $100s than have to pay a yearly subscription that usually that yearly subscription would more than pay for one Garmin. Like, I wasn't about that. And I think nowadays, I'm pretty sure my vehicle now has GPS on it. I say that, but honestly, I hardly think I'm going to be the only person that would ever say this, but I honestly don't know if my car has GPS built into it because I just used Android Auto. I just have my phone connect to it, and it's like, oh my gosh, yes, BMW with their heated seat subscription, like, ugh, like, get out of here, BMW. Like, no, not paying a subscription so I could have heated seats a couple months out of the, like, I would only need it for a couple months out of the year. I'm gonna tell him to do a liquor because I didn't even read the rest of his dialogue. Like, I'm just like, and then, like, I also got ticked off because, like nowadays, I'm trying to remember what subscription. Honda wanted a subscription because I drive a CRV, and they wanted a subscription so that I could continue using the MyQ app in my car so that I could open my garage door. They did to an extent. Yeah, so with the Honda Remote Start, they did to an extent for some vehicles. Mine has it on the remote. So I don't have to do the app and a subscription to remote start my vehicle. But yeah, they're one that some of their models have that behind a paywall. I'm pretty sure Toyota has quite a few of theirs. If it's not completely behind a paywall, last I checked, Toyota's was all completely behind a paywall. I am not flying manually here. I think quite a few others, like they made remote start just through the and like my old Terrain was like if I had remote start available natively in my car, it would have been the same way, but then I ended up doing an aftermarket remote start. That doesn't surprise me with Chevy. Why you remove Android? These greedy ass companies wanting to remove stuff like that. It's like the greedier they get, the more powerful they're going to make individual developers. Like, people are just going to do stuff with Android and do stuff with Linux that's going to get around all their stuff of removing the stuff from vehicles and to gaming systems and all that stuff. And like, at the end of the day, they're not going to get as much money as what they think they're going to get out of doing shit like that. Like, yeah. Aftermarket for sure will thrive if they do something like that, because like there are going to be so many places that are going to come out with ways to add Android Auto to your system when it's not built in like that. And honestly, for me, I'm like, I mean, I was someone that, like, my vehicle before my CRV, I drove a Terrain, so I drove a GMC. And I would have gone the GM route again if they had a hybrid. I just live in an area where I don't have a whole lot of charging stations around. And I didn't want to be out and driving and have my daughter with me and run out of power to drive my vehicle. And not have a charging station close enough, you know? Whereas gas stations, there are plenty of gas stations. So I was like, well, I still want to save on gas, so I got a hybrid. And like all the American-made ones, they ditched hybrid and went to either full electric or full gas. And I was like, well, I need a hybrid, so completely ditched them. But yeah, like just them being like, they were to take Android Auto completely out and try to force people into subscriptions, I'd be like, nope. I will just find a brand that has Android Auto. And if they all drop Android Auto, I would be like, okay, well then, I'm going to do some aftermarket stuff. If I have to, I will set up my own damn Raspberry Pi and set it up that way. Like, I will find a way around their damn system because I am not paying for their monthly or yearly subscriptions for shit. Just not doing it. Let's see. Oh, I didn't even need to check Endwalker. I needed to check Realm Reborn and let's see. Sylphs and Ixal I have highest. Okay. I find it interesting that I have the Ixal so high. I don't remember why I have the Ixal so high. I have the Ixal higher than some of the others, so I guess I will work on them next. And they are... Actually, hold on. Probably better for me to go to Gridania. Save a little bit on those teleport fees. Anyhow, I do apologize for that rant, but also, I'm both sorry and not sorry for that rant. Because I'm like, it's all stuff that's like, companies need to hear people say stuff like that to them. Like, it really is absolutely awful right now. Like, that could be why, I have the Ixal a little bit there. I honestly, like, I remember doing it more with my alts. I didn't remember doing it so much with this character, though. Because this character, I didn't really use side quests and stuff like that to level my crafters and stuff. I mostly used the firmament. There were just a couple alts that I remembered being like, nah, I need a break from the firmament. But this one was my main character and the first one that I did leveling with, and I was like, I was very gung-ho and very single-sided on doing everything in the firmament at the time. But yeah, maybe I am misremembering, and maybe I did do some here. Let's see. So this one has whoops, actually. Hold on. 29 rep. That's not a ton of rep. That's 20 reps. That's less. 24 rep. Okay, it's more than dude that's right next to him. Was it this guy that has 70? Okay. It's probably got a whole bunch of stuff to it, but hey, worth 70 rep, I guess. Okay, supplies are dwindling. Feathers one we seek, okay? Feathers one will fill our houses with wares. Hey, Euler. Master Rosal demands swiftness. He does. Ever prudent he is. Which items are dwindling, you ask? Why, all featherless nuker, but some more than others. Which some more than others? No, this one does not know. Or this one... No, this one does not. No, the foreman does. Okay. Okay, the foreman's like literally right there, dude. Right there. Okay. Long as my list deep as our need. Oh, that's why it was the 70 rep, because he's like, he's got all this crap. Okay. My brain doesn't want to wrap around that right now. I'll just accept these ones. Come on, dude. Just give me the quest. I know it's been a hot minute, but I really don't remember where we were with all of our stuff, because I didn't even remember doing stuff with you on this character. To be completely honest, like maybe like a teeny tiny bit, but I did not think it was more than I did with the sylphs. I did remember doing stuff with the sylph, on this character. I'm silly. Okay. Let's see. Hot cross bun. Speak with... Oh, difficulty of the quest is synced to my current level. Well, why wouldn't it be? Speak with this guy at the observatorium. Use a shearing knife to cut a beard from a feral croc and skyfire locks. Okay. Oh, okay. Like, I do remember with the Ixal that it's like a cross between multiple things. Like, it's not just a crafting. Sometimes you do have to switch to battle jobs and stuff. Part of their whole button to level multiple things at once. I'm just gonna grab the buttons really, really quick. Oh. Okay. Maybe he has to be alive as I do it. Let's see. Designed for shearing wool from sheep. Not recommended for use on this guy. Okay. So weird. I expected to have to take one of those out before I could actually use it on him, especially since it, like, the description of it said, "Oh, this is better for use on sheep. You probably shouldn't use it on this." And then it wants you to talk to this guy. This is also for anybody who hasn't got the throw emote. You talk to this guy over here, gives you a quest that you turn over here, and then you can throw. What throw does is if you are standing on snow like this, and you use throw, you throw snowballs, for instance. But it's a simple, you pick up the quest, you turn it in to, if I recall correctly, you actually turn it into this guy right here, and you can throw snowballs. And the talking to a bajillion people continues. Another reason why A Realm Reborn ones get so annoying, because just like the MSQ, you are taking a lot on quests where you are talking to so many people. The only reason Heavensward and Stormblood get a little annoying is because there are a lot of times that you are flying clear across the zone that you are in, and it takes a long time because they don't have nearly as many different Aethernets and Aetherites and stuff for you to be able to swap over to. I completely forgot. For the Ixal quest, another thing that's weird with the Realm Reborn is you have to use these gloves. Ixal wrist gloves when you're crafting. Doesn't matter if what you have on is better. It doesn't matter if you are way over geared for all of this. Like, I'm level 100, I am wearing pentamelded gear. That doesn't matter. You still have to wear these gloves for the Ixal craft. Otherwise, you'll get the error just like I did. Yes, I totally agree. Like, going to the Sea of, like, all the stuff in the Sea of Clouds, like, that area especially is super annoying. Like, that's one reason why I feel like Heavensward ones get really annoying. Like, I feel like the Stormblood ones are not quite as bad. You still have a pretty good amount of flying around, though. However, I do feel like the Stormblood quests, those society quests are actually, in my opinion, better than the MSQ. For Stormblood, like, I much prefer it. Oops. Cancel that macro. It says obtain a beast claw from. Oh, now I need to be battle job. For ice sprite. Why not? Yes, the antas are really good. I also Like, honestly, I liked all of them in Stormblood. I liked those ones. And if you get them up to Allied, I mean, I feel like the gratuity emote is one of the absolute best emotes. Especially considering you get it for free. Instead of like the flower shower you have to pay real life money for in the shop. Whereas gratuity, yeah, you could just shower people in Gil just because you did Allied societies. Like, I feel like that's totally worth it. Totally worth all that flag around. The Heavensward Allied Society dance is also pretty good. Shadowbringers, the most disappointing thing about the Shadowbringers ones is that you don't have an actual allied quest after you get them all the max rank. You could only get them up to Bloodsworn, which is honestly super unfortunate. But all the other ones you can get them actually up to allied. Oh, of course they're not like at the very top. So yeah, like with the Shadowbringers ones, you don't get that extra low reward at the end for getting them up to allied rank. But they're still really good. Because like for instance with the dwarves, you get a tank. Actually get a tank and you can shoot it. That tank is honestly one of the best mounts in the game. Like, I mean, you also get to do a Lally Ho emote. Like, there's all kinds of great stuff with them. That I absolutely love. Let's see. Yeah. Whoops. Oh, he wants me to go back to being an alchemist before I think I can turn in some of the other stuff, I think. Okay, I need to make this. This is probably why I actually have the Ixtal a little bit higher, is because it's a little bit easier to avoid the fates as compared to some of the other ones. The other ones, especially when they're battle, you're kind of stuck doing a fate for some of them. Whereas the Ixtal, yes, it is annoying to constantly have to swap between different things and have to put on these dang gloves constantly. But it's still fine. Okay, that's... Let me teleport there. There we go. Okay, get these things out of my face. I'm not only going to do Ixtal. That's why I only picked up 3 from them. I will pick up 3 other ones too. Just to mix it up a little bit. Actually, I might only... Yeah, I was like... I said 3, and I was like, wait, I actually picked up that 4th one. So I should only be able to... a couple more. Let me see. Let me abandon that one because I'm not doing that. That would be absolutely horrendous and boring to watch on stream. Like I that would be a time for me to go on on some other rant about something. But I'm not gonna do that. I'll do a few for the silts. I love my cabbage friends. I love them. Gotta show my cabbage friends some love. Let's see. Okay, here we go. What? I just got here. I didn't fail shit, game. I didn't fail shit. What are you talking about? I failed that fate. I just got here. Someone else failed. I guess I could... Let's see. Oh, actually, hold on. I don't even know if it applied my flamer or not, but... Let's see. Oh, that... Oh, wait, I was looking... I was looking at how many poetics it would give me, and not at the relations it would give me. I was like, wait, 7? That's terrible. Not picking up those quests. Whoops. Yes, that's... Like, the cabbages, I'm like, I know why I have them higher rank. It's because I like them. Yes, same. I wanted the Gobu. And one of the reasons I lost my motivation was because of the event that gave us the flower Gobu. Like, I lost all motivation to get that. I wanted to be able to sneeze on people, and now I can do that. Let's see. Whoops. Nope, that's not... Apparently, I don't have my mounts hotkeyed here. Yeah, I'm just going to take a shot in the dark as to where it's at, because I have my chat overlaid over top of... Nope, that's... Oh, there we go. Like, I know I have... Yeah. Oh, I needed to type in 2 O's. I only got the 2 B's. Yeah, it's like when they gave us PD, I was a little less motivated. But I also did get like I've got the Laro Gobu. Like, we gotta be able to sneeze on people. Like, that's just a necessity. And it's like, yes, you're not sneezing on people, but you're giving them little Easter eggs and stuff. Like, I absolutely love that one. It's so much fun. But I feel like we need more of them, and we need like 100 more Mandragoras. We need all the Mandragoras. Like, this mount is the greatest mount. Like, throw that over to this side. Because, I mean, it runs so silly. How it flails its little feet as it's flying. And then, when you walk, just has its little arms just flailing around behind it. Doop, 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 doop. And it's like, it's got this little strut with its hips. I'm like, it's so freaking cute. And I feel like we need so many more of them. Like, what we have, they're all great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you missed the Halloween event and didn't get them throwing candy around or doing tricks with pumpkins, you totally missed out, and we'll be able to buy it from the cash shop this upcoming Halloween. But absolutely fantastic amount. But they've got that one. I mean, we've got this patched up one. Like, they're so freaking cute. I love them. Like, we need more of them. But I'm also glad that they did not give us more of L-Tools. They're not trying to replace L-Tool. She is the greatest. She is the best. Nothing can replace her ever. Like, she is unique. She can... There can only be one L-Tool. Okay. So, let's see. I left myself in walking mode. Like, wait a minute, did I actually grab any quests? I had 2. Let's see. I don't see anything on my list. I could have swore I grabbed stuff, but those ones are 10. Those ones are 20. Okay. Here's for the safety of the little ones. Okay, sure. Yes. Okay. Let's see. I especially remember another reason why I procrastinated after a while was because originally when I was doing these, it was before they had released flying for A Realm Reborn zones in Final Fantasy XIV. And then when they announced that they were going to release flying, I was like, well, I'm not going to work on these until we have flying. And then it just became super easy to procrastinate after. Like, once you start procrastinating, it's like you kind of struggle to stop procrastinating. Let's see. Give me just a second. I'm going to see. I'm going to try to do something with my chat overlay real quick. Properties. Okay. Don't think that's going to work, but I was like, you know what? I may as well see. Yes, walking in A Realm Reborn, like even with ground mounts, was so annoying. Like just getting to where I was at, or where I'm at here, sucked. It's seriously. Is this game serious? I have to carry this all the way to there? Okay. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna freaking be able to carry this there in that amount of time. Another reason why these were annoying. Like, I can't just completely no-brain this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, because, like, if I happen to get slightly off the path and not have my map up or something to, like, really lay it all out for me a little bit better, I'd probably be screwed. I probably would have taken a wrong turn somewhere and dropped this thing and had to go all the way back. And after a while, it's like, okay, we get it. We have to strategize this a little bit. Do we have to spend 5 minutes just running with an egg? And I think there was one time that I actually was doing this with a lower level, and I got like right to the end and I aggroed something and dropped the egg and I was really pissed off. Yeah, here you go. There's your egg. That was annoying. Thank you, cabbage ones. And, of course, one of the ones I picked up was a fate quest. Don't know how to get this to spawn, but we'll see. Just throw my dot on some things. Make them die real quick. Hope that fate spawns. Okay. Maybe I'll look it up. So, what a 4. Let's see. So, go to Google. Spawn. What a 4 fate Final Fantasy 14. Actively clear fates, other fates in the area. There are no other fates in the area. Okay, let's see. What do I do if there are no? Ugh, okay. So, like, in times like this, yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, I want to skip this one too. The last one of the limit, and if I abandon it, I don't think I can pick another one up, because I've been abandoned that one with the Ixal, and it didn't let me pick up a new one. But I might just anyway, because there's no sense in doing all of that. There just isn't. I may as well just turn in. Do I have anything else to turn in? Podling Peril. Okay, I can at least turn in Podling Peril. Maybe it will spawn while turning this one in. That, or at least a fate will spawn in, because naturally they don't. Usually they will give you a fate that is part of a fate series, and they like to give you one of the boss fates that's part of the series. And it's not the start of the series. It's normally later in the series. And it's like, why? Why did you have to torture us like that just seems completely and totally unnecessary to do. Anyhow, rather than continuing to wait on that, because it seems like, okay, there is a, oh, what? That fate was not on my map before. That, or I'm blind. I mean, I technically am legally blind, but that's neither here nor there. Rather than trying to get it to spawn, because I don't want to sit here doing fates to try to get this to spawn, I do want to talk about the fact that we have the Make It Rain event happening now. And the Make It Rain event, there are some rewards and stuff for it, but one of the biggest rewards that you get from it is you get extra MGP from doing various things in the Gold Saucer. I highly recommend, even if you don't like doing the gates and the Gold Saucer, at the very least, go do your weekly fashion reporter. For those of you that are in my Discord server, if you go into the server and you go to the channel FFXIV-info, we are subscribed to the fashion reporter channel in the Discord. Unfortunately, the information doesn't get posted onto, I believe it used to get posted on the X. And with how I have things set up in Fluxer, I tried to get it to pull anything that was posted in the Discord over, but because that is posted in a different server and how it comes up in my Discord server is through a subscription to the Fashion Reporters Discord server. Since it's not a direct post into the server, it doesn't automatically translate over to the Fluxer server. But if you check out the Fashion Reporters stuff, they give a overall huge breakdown of what you need to know for the week. And let me see. Okay. I can get a window that's small enough. Let me switch into screen share mode for a moment. That way I can show you guys what it's like. So what this looks like is it's always going to be an image like this from Kyoko Star. Okay. And you could follow Kyoko Star on any of their stuff. They also post this stuff on Reddit and everything. I think with how like X got really big into not allowing for subscription-based services to like cross-post and stuff. Very similar to like the reason I don't have TikTok automatically going into Fluxer, and I don't have Instagram automatically going into either one of my servers. X also makes it, or has like extremely aggressive rules that make it near impossible to have those subscription services for relaying when things get posted or relaying those posts elsewhere. I don't think Kyoko Star actually posts this information on to X anymore. As you can see, it's still the Twitter icon. I haven't checked out Reddit though. They might still post on Reddit. But anyhow, it is a huge image that breaks down the different hints for the week. But the thing to make note of is actually these boxes down here at the bottom. And the reason that is because one of them has easy 100 points. And Kyoko breaks down exactly the easiest way to get 100 points, as well as your easy 80 points. The thing is, the easy 100 points, you really only need to do easy 100 one time ever. Because your easy 100 will give you the fashion leader title, as well as MGP. So long as you get 80 points or higher, you're going to get the same amount of MGP as if you scored a perfect 100. So at the end of the day, after you've got the fashion leader title, so long as you get over 80 points, you're going to get your 60,000 MGP or more. During the Make It Rain event, it will be more than 60,000. It will be even more if you are in a free company that uses a jackpot buff, or if you go to your grand company, you make sure that you have your squadron going and you get buffs through your squadron. If you pop one of those buffs before you complete your fashion report, you will also get extra MGP that way. But that is a huge chunk of MGP that you can get during this time. And it's so easy to do, and it's just once a week. Don't have to do any annoying leap of faith. You don't have to do any of the other annoying gates or anything like that. Like Fashion Reporter, it's just easy to do and quick MGP overall. So this week it looks like it's the Goblin Cap and then any dyeable body piece so long as you dye it suit black. Easy breezy so long as you have the Goblin Cap, right? So swap back to gaming so that way I get that out of the way. So I'm gonna actually go to oh wait, actually I don't need to go to Ulda. Let's go back to Gridania. I'm glad. I am so glad. Yeah, that's why I try to like share this information, because like I know a lot of veteran players like me just don't think about some of this stuff and sharing this information. That it's like we've known about it for so long that we just don't think about it anymore. We just end up doing it, and we forget to share it with newer players, you know? And it's like it's like, you know, it's so quick and easy. Let's see. So. Okay. I probably need to go to an in room. I'm a wee bit laggy on my screen. I probably just have too many things open up on my computer. I can't help it. I've probably just got too many tabs open. See, let me close out some tabs. Like I don't need that search anymore. Isa DB, I don't need to know what houses are on the market right now. Okay. Let's see, so right click, scale that up so everybody can see it. Honestly, let's see. Remove the goblin cap. I was like, I had a feeling that goblin cap in my my armoire. Okay, I'm gonna leave that at 120 because that's already a really wide window. I don't want to make it too wide on the screen. And then I already have suit black on hand. So I can literally... Let's see. It's actually in my... Equip that. Did I not grab? Excuse me? Base spectrum dye. Oh. God, they did. They did all that stuff with the dyes a few weeks ago. I completely forgot about that. So I'm gonna hide my headpiece, that way I don't look ridiculous running through town with a goblin headpiece on. But I need to go to the Calamity Salvager and trade in all these old dyes. My gosh, there's so many people here. Okay. I'm actually gonna go over here before I go to the Calamity Salvager and grab my other dyes too. That way I can just trade in what I've got for these other dyes. So that way they're not clogging up my retainer's inventory, because I mean, in case it wasn't obvious that I have a problem. Got so many retainers here. So I may as well go ahead and grab these dyes and trade them all into the Calamity Salvager. I completely forgot that this happened during the latest patch, that they condensed dyes down. I was like, wait, what the crap? Why is this not dyeing to suit black? And it's because I gotta trade in a bunch of stuff. Not all of them got replaced. So like some of these special ones. Yes. I'm really bad about hoarding loot and stuff. But in my defense, like, this character has a lot of crafting materials for like housing items and stuff, like that damaged side table. I could make some nice stuff with it. Got a ton of marine wax ester, so I can make a ton of candles for y'all's houses. Make so many candles. And then I've got a whole bunch of stuff from Eureka. I've got some old gear. Like I've got a lot of stuff. But I do not need to to hold on to all these dyes. I need to go to Calamity Salvager, see what I can condense down. Get them condensed down, at least. Let's see. Over here. Trying to remember. There's Calamity Salvager. Like, I usually go to the one that's in Limsa Lomensa, but let's see. Okay. With the amount of dice that I have, I can get over 1,300. Over 1,300 standard spectrum die. "10 pots of wide spectrum 1 and 20 pots of wide spectrum 2, but over 1,300 standard spectrums. Yeah. And my chat log just went nuts because it was like trading in a whole bunch of dies in for like all those dies I just plucked out. Now it's only going to take 4 slots. So now when I go to dye my gear, and it's saying I need standard spectrum in order to dye the suit black for my fashion report here. It's not going to override, so the reason I went ahead and did it there, even though I'm wearing a very specific glamour, it's not going to override what I have in the glamour chest or anything like that. So my glamour plate is still going to apply properly. This is just a temporary thing that I've done here for dyeing it. That's totally fair. You're like, I was not expecting to see that I was gonna have like 1,300 and something odd. Like I was not expecting that. Like that was a bit insane. Let's see. I want to double check my Chocobo saddlebag here. So I have commercial engineering, squadron engineering, revised survival, golden saucer ticket, squadron manual. Okay, I don't have any Grand Company buffs. And then free company buffs I've through reduced rates and heat of battle for my free company. So those are typically the 2 that I keep up in my free company. But I don't have Grand Company individual buffs up, but I can show how to do that momentarily. I'm just not worried about it for myself at the moment. I do highly recommend, if you can, get those buffs that you do utilize. Okay, so hello, Master Rose. So, like, you could confirm the challenge, and basically, like, these labels here are the same things that come up at the very top of Kyoko Star's breakdown. Talking about the To Adventure, the In Sheep's Clothing, Omega Ornamentation, and Friend to the End. Like, Kyoko has a breakdown of what items fit best within those categories. And then to the side has a die breakdown for the points as far as this goes. And you could present yourself for judging like 4 different times, but just using Kyoko's thing, you just need to present yourself once. And you should have your easy points. Now, as far as what Kyoko has, like, I just had to wear the goblin cap. I don't have it showing, so we're going to see if I get the 80 points without it showing. I forgot to make it showing. Okay? This is one reason why you get multiple attempts. Because you might have missed something, or accidentally glamored over something, things like that. But I do have the dyed chest piece. Everything else doesn't necessarily matter. Now, I might get some credit in some of these categories for the other items. I'm not wearing Omega pants, so I'm not going to get credit for pants because these are dancer pants. But I might get something for one of the other categories. We'll just have to see. We're going to see what my score is like. I mean, overall, especially with the goblin hat hiding, my outfit actually doesn't look that bad. Usually, when I present myself, I look like a hot mess. Like, whatever they need for the week just does not look right. But, as I said, especially since I have the goblin mask actually not showing at the moment, I don't look that bad, right? Like, the black does not go with the white and silver so much, but like, it goes okay with, like, the silver looks fine, but... Okay, I got my 80 points. So I don't need to represent myself. I got my 80 points, so I'm going to get 60,000 or more MGP. And that's it. Now, if you want to go overkill, like, especially if you're like, oh, I don't have that goblin cap, or you don't know how to get the goblin cap or anything like that, or like, well, this might be a good week. Like, see, I got 90,000. You get an extra 50%. So half of 60 is 30. So add that 30 to the 60, got 90. Get 150% of it. So much more MGP just by doing that one thing each week. If you want to do the 100, you can do the 100, even if you already have the fashion leader title. It's just not completely necessary. And you could do just part of it if you want to. You might have to do a little bit of experimenting to see how many points you're going to get for each of the categories. But it's still something that is it's easy and possible to do, and you get so much MGP for it. Like, you may as well do it. As I said, like, the gates, I understand not wanting to do the gates. We don't have another gate for another 10 minutes. Gates happen every 20 minutes, so they happen on the hour, 20 after, and 20 till. So since right now, and that is either local or server time, by the way. That's not Eorzea time when I say on the hour, 20 after, and 20 till. But right now it's 9:30, so the next one isn't going to happen until 9:40. And then we'll have another one at 10, then another one at 10:20, then another one at 10:40, and so on and so forth as far as the gates go. If you want to get into some of the other activities, like you could do Mahjong, you could do Triple Triad, you could do some of those other things if you want to in order to get MGP. But definitely that fashion report, easy, guaranteed way to get your MGP and get it fast. I'm going to go ahead and reapply my White Mage outfit. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So I just re-equipped my White Mage gear, so it reapplied my glamour automatically. If you don't have your glamour automatically popping up, you can with your gear set list. If you right-click on it, if I remember correctly, that's like L3 and R2 if you're on controller, something like that. Whatever gets you into the sub-menu like this, you can set glamour plate link. For me, it's changed glamour plate link since I already have a glamour plate linked to it. And then you can pick of your glamour plates what you want to tie it to. So like if I wanted it tied to this one, I would select link gear set, and that would be what would automatically apply whenever I'm in a sanctuary. Or whenever there's a moon on my experience bar. That way you don't have to automatically reapply your glamours every single time you get something. You just update your gear set, equip that gear set, and it'll automatically apply it so long as you are in a sanctuary. Otherwise, you're going to get an error saying, hey, you're not in a sanctuary, so I can't apply that gear. Or I can't apply the glamour to the gear. Another easy way to get MGP that is not quite as guaranteed necessarily. You're going to make a profit. Like, on any of these, you will make a profit. Because of all the gambling laws across the world and everything. They had to make sure that they are following laws. So technically it's not gambling because you're not going to lose skill or MGP by participating in any of it. You will only gain. However, the amount that you gain can fluctuate, which is where it's supposed to be like. And so one of the ways, and this is one that you can do daily, is Mini Cactpot. Mini Cactpot, you get a small scratch-off ticket. Very easy way to get some MGP for the day. You can get anywhere, so it only costs 10 MGP to participate. The least amount you will get back is 36, so that's still a 26 MGP profit. But the most you can get is 10,000, so still a profit. I like to, when I'm doing the scratch-offs, because you can only scratch off so many. Like, it will give you 1, and you can scratch off 3. I like to make a Y shape. So that way I can tell whether I am going to have a line. And the reason that is because you have to select a line for forming 3 numbers. And if the sum of it, like if the sum of it's 6, I get 10,000 MGP. Sum of it's 7, I get 36. So on and so forth. To get 6, you have to have the numbers 1, 2, 3. And the reason I do a Y is because I can easily deduce here, I can't get 1, 2, 3 in a line. There's no way to form it. Not there, not there, not there, not there, not in any of the columns, not that diagonal either. It's not possible for me to have 1, 2, 3. The only way to get 24 is to have 7, 8, 9. Well, I have 8 and 9 right here. I could possibly have 7, 8, 9 right there. I'm going to guess that one wasn't 7, 8, 9. Still made a decent profit. Was it 90,000 MGP? No, but still decent profit. Again, I can't get 1, 2, 3, but here I can get 7, 8, 9. Let's see if I get a 7, 8, 9. Sweet, I got a 7, 8, 9. And it's gonna give me that little jingle like as though I did something absolutely amazing. Okay, I can't get a 7, 8, 9. I can quite possibly get a 1, 2, 3. Are the odds great? No, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. I only got 120, so profit of 110, but still. Quick, easy, breezy. You could also do a weekly Cactpot, which is the Jumbo Cactpot. There are so many people here because this event just started. The weekly Cactpot is very much like if you live in the United States, like how the lotteries are in the States where like you pick 4 numbers, you can randomize it to like purchase a ticket. Your first one's going to be the cheapest, second one's going to cost a little bit more, third one's going to cost a little bit more. And I think you can only purchase. Yeah. And then the next drawing happens on Saturday. For those of you that observe daylight savings time, that changes throughout the year because in Japan they do not observe daylight savings time. So, like for me right now, it's at 10 p.m. But in the winter, it'll be 9 p.m. when the drawing happens. So, you want to be careful as far as what time the drawing happens, because if you show up within I can't remember how long the time window is for all of that, but if you show up within a certain window of the drawing happening, you get an extra bonus of MGP. However, regardless of when you show up, so long as it's within a week of the drawing, you're still going to make a profit of MGP. And it's an easy way to do it. So much easier than doing these gates. Let's see. I'm going to talk to one of these Gold Saucer employees. We're going to see what the next gate is. That way I can at least show a gate. Kind of show why I'm like, I get not wanting to do these. Oh. If you get Air Force One like this, consider yourself lucky. Air Force One is actually a good one. Yes, it is absolutely fun to get there early because there's going to be a huge crowd. There's almost always going to be people in costumes, dancing, acting all sorts of crazy. Like, it is pretty much a guaranteed. Like typically on Diabolos, you have a line of people that have their little campfire minions out and all doing the bee's knees dance. Like, they're all doing it. With this event, I highly recommend, even after you get like the event stuff, that you still utilize it for getting more and more MGP, because there are some events that happen in game that require MGP to get some of the rewards. For instance, the Final Fantasy 15 car. When the Final Fantasy 15 event comes, the car costs 200,000 MGP. And they don't give you a bonus like this for being able to purchase that car. So you may as well take advantage of an event like this to get more MGP so that you can buy that car a little bit easier. The reason I say you're lucky if you get this one is because this one's actually cute and fun, and some of the other ones, they can be torturous. Like this one is, as you can see, a very simple little shooty game. You don't want to hit the ones that are red like that because they're bombs, but you want to hit the 1 stars, the 2 stars, and the 3 stars, and you're going to get points. Your MGP is going to be based upon the score that you get. But some of the other gates, I still need to try Chocobo Racing. I've yet to try it. My alt did get a racing Chocobo, but she's yet to do anything with it. This character has never gotten a racing Chocobo. And like I haven't done anything with it. But like some of the other gates, I've totally done a lot of the gates. And I can tell you, most of the gates are annoying. I love this one. I love Air Force One. But especially the jumping Leap of Faith. Some of those Leap of Faith maps straight up suck. Hate them. And I swear as I get older, I just get worse at jumping with mouse and keyboard. Yeah, I got my score of 5,000. 5,000 is the maximum score that you can get on Air Force One. But even if you don't get the maximum score, you're still going to get quite a bit of MGP, and it's pretty easy to get. So that gate is one that I do highly recommend. But like Slice's Right is annoying and is very luck based. Yes. I definitely like having Air Force One happening more often because Leap of Faith, like, there was one time that I came to the Gold Saucer and, like, for hours, it was nothing but Leap of Faith. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Give me something else to do, please. Like, I can't handle all of the Leap of Faith. And then it decided to taunt me and give me Slice's Right. And I was like, really? Really? You're going to give me Slice's Right? And then after that, it gave me every way wind blows, and I was like, all right, I'm done for the day. I've never won that one. I have managed to win slices right by sheer dumb luck. I've been fine on Leap of Faith. I'm not gonna lie, I actually partially had hoped that I was going to get Leap of Faith this time, because I was going to show that with Leap of Faith, and I'll probably do this on my alt on Sunday, because hopefully I'll have better chance of getting Leap of Faith. With Leap of Faith, before you start going for that gold trophy, because that gold trophy is always going to be by the finish line, jump to the finish line first and touch it, so that way it technically records that you've completed it and were successful. Then go back and try to get the gold trophy. Because that way, because the gold trophy is going to be the hardest one to get, and is going to be a royal pain in the ass on some maps. So if you happen to be going to the gold trophy and continuously fall over and over and over again and run out of time getting the gold trophy, you'll still be successful and get more MGP than you would have if you hadn't touched that finish line. So touch the finish line. Don't technically go through the completion steps of like clicking on it and all that stuff. Just like walk over and have it like flash for a second, and then like start backtracking towards the gold trophy. But like make sure you do that, because otherwise you're going to get a penalty for not actually finishing. And it's worse than if you would have just touched the finish line. Like I actually happened to do that recently. Like I was trying to get the gold trophy and I continuously fell over and over and over again. I was actually recording myself. And I think I had to mute myself in the recording, because I'm almost positive in my gold saucer video, that was when it was like I used footage from it. And I was cussing so much. There was so much cussing. I was furious. I was mad. But because I touched the finish line, only penalty, quote, quote, that I got was I didn't grab the gold trophy. I wasn't successful in that. But I still technically finished, so I got full credit for all the other trophies instead of having a point penalty being applied for not finishing. But yeah, I was so mad, because I did great. Like I don't think I fell a single time before trying to go for the gold trophy either. I was hyped, I was feeling good, but then touched the finish line, backtracked to go get the gold trophy, and I fell. I'm like, well, shit. And I started trying to go for the gold trophy again. Get almost there, fall again. And it was minutes of nothing but that. And finally, I was down to like 45 seconds. And I just loaded back at the beginning. And I'm like, I'm not going to get that gold trophy. I'm just going to stand here and pout about it. Like, it's not going to happen. I touched the finish line. It is what it is. I got the credit for touching the finish line, but not getting the gold trophy. It was really annoying. Anyhow, the reason people are standing here by the gatekeeper is because up until the halfway mark, so like 9 or at 10 after, at the 30-minute mark and at the 50-minute mark for the clock, you could still start that gate. Like you don't have to be there right at the start. However, once the clock hits 9:50, I'll be able to talk to her and she'll tell me what the next one's going to be, and I can go get ready for the next one. But I wouldn't be able to start Air Force One at that point. I really do need to try the Chocobo races. It's honestly, it's something that I think about every once in a while, but then I'm just like, I just don't get intrigued enough by them to end up doing them. I really need to, though. it sounds like, so typically during events like this, especially here at the beginning, there's going to be a lot of chatter happening. So there's a lot of conversation happening in shout chat, and apparently been a lot of Air Force One right now. So like now's a good time, especially to go ahead and take advantage of the gates. If they, like, I don't know if Square Enix did that on purpose or anything like that. But yeah, so it's like, shh, don't point it out. Otherwise, we're going to be back that stupid force level of leap of faith. Like, we want to stick with Air Force One. Air Force One is actually a good gate. Because, like, that one you could actually, like, be somewhat entertained and still get your max score without getting overly frustrated and stuff. But Slice is right. It's a lot of mechanic dodging. And you can be great at mechanic dodging up until one particular part that is definitely luck. There will be 3 baskets. One basket has nothing under it. One basket has a pile of gill under it. And the last one has a wolf under it. If you happen to pick the one that has the wolf under it, you're out. I almost always get the one that has the wolf under it. And I know that explanation sounds like, oh, well, it should be easy enough to the one that has the wolf under it because, like, they're probably shuffling those cups in an easy way. No, it is literally impossible to follow those cups. They shuffle them in a way that is intentionally impossible to follow them. And it's literally just luck of the draw. Oh. It sounds like people talk to them as like, our next schedule event is Air Force One. So, doesn't look like I was like, man, if it is going to be something different, I will go ahead and go a little over time on stream to demonstrate that. But it doesn't look like that's going to be it. I will see if I could demonstrate something else here just quickly. Let's see. So we already did the mini cactpot. That's a daily one. Easy breezy. Quite a few people do that quickly. You can also, for anybody that does a lot of content, that you end up with a bunch of extra triple triad cards. Don't just throw them away. You can come to the gold saucer at this main countertop. So there's the mini cactpot guy for reference. Over there's the main entrance. Like, straight across there. There. Where that blue balloon is, that's the main entrance. I keep forgetting my cursor's not being shown on screen. I'm like trying to point at things with my cursor, and OBS just isn't capturing it because I'm doing it with a game capture. And I guess the game capture between OBS and how I have to run Final Fantasy XIV and all that stuff, some things are still experimental. So I have to make some manual adjustments in order to properly get the mouse working. I just haven't figured out how to get it. I'm sure it's easier than when I'm making it. Anyhow, any cactpot guy, and then we've got, fortunately when I hover over these guys, they do glow. But then you've got these guys over here. You want to talk to this triple triad trader, and you can sell those extra cards for MGP, and it will let you know. Like, if you have a green check mark there, you've got it in your deck already, so you may as well trade it in. Because you can't give it to anybody else anyway. Oops. I wanted to sell both of those. Like, don't just throw those cards away. Sell them. Get some MGP. Yeah, you can get all kinds of awesome things. Let's see. So, seasonal events. Like, all kinds of seasonal stuff. Yeah, here we go. Here's the optional event stuff. So we have the Make It Rain event. Furnishings, posters. These stools can be pretty cool in houses for anybody who does any of that stuff. Looks like they've brought the in-house games over here. But there's a ton of stuff that you can get from this vendor. This is also typically during the events like the Final Fantasy 15 event. This vendor would also be the one that you would talk to get the car. From, let's see, you can also get like some of these pieces are fairly new. Like some of the Moogle tops, they're relatively new. But there are a ton of glam pieces here. There are also hair pieces. Rainmaker is actually a really cool hair style. I don't really have anything to say about that vendor. There's all kinds of registrable stuff. Like there's all kinds of framer kits. There's all kinds of minions. There's mounts. There are a ton of things. Like this mount here, the Blackjack, that mount is awesome and cool, but you need 4 million MGP in order to get it. So like there's plenty of stuff to farm for even outside of events. Like you can get angel wings, you can get parasols. Apparently I need to get some of these spectacles and spend some of my MGP. Plenty of emotes like fancy beverages, which gives you a shaker. So like you're sitting there with a like as though you're a bartender shaking a drink. All kinds of different hairstyles. Like there's a ton of stuff, and it's like taking advantage of something like the Make It Rain event makes farming for the MGP to get these things so much easier. But even if you have all these things, I do recommend going ahead and getting some extra MGP. That way you are prepared for those other events. Because those other events don't come around very often. Like it takes so long like it took them so long to even offer the Final Fantasy 15 event the second go around. Like they could take years before they offer some of these events for another time. So it's like when they do happen, it's best to go ahead and have that currency ready to go, so that way you are prepared to make that purchase, you know? It's like, it's just a big no-brainer. And as I said, you can still take advantage of like some of the side things. So like you can still get MGP from doing triple triad. So you can still I'll just go ahead and I'll just do a recommend. I was like, I apparently don't have any decks set, so I'm just going to say recommend a deck. And Triple Triad is just a small card game. If you go through the quests, it said it was Red's turn. Okay, yeah, it's going through the dialogue. So like this is the tutorial one. So let's see. I'm going to probably wasn't my best move, but I also haven't played Triple Triad in a long time. Let's see. So you could do matches like that to get some MGP. So that cost me a few MGP. I think it cost me 5, and I got a reward of 10. So you can, more challenging ones, you'll get more MGP for it. Since that was the tutorial one, I wasn't going to get much for it, and I'd already done the tutorial before. So like getting it that way is going to take a little bit longer, but you can still do some fun things, especially to pass the time in between gates, or just to have something to do that's not gates, especially if you're finding that it's like, oh, hey, it's Leap of Faith. I don't want to do Leap of Faith and need something else to do. That is totally all your prerogative. But as I said, at the very least, I highly recommend making sure that you do your fashion report, because that is so much MGP compared to the 15 that I got for that match. Like, doing that match a couple times for the amount of time that it took me to do this week's fashion report, even if we include the time that it took me to trade in those dyes so I could dye my top the right color and stuff, like, there's absolutely no comparison. Like, none of those things would I have gotten near the same amount of MGP that I got from doing the fashion report, even if it was guaranteed. Like, it just wasn't going to happen. So I highly recommend making sure that you do that each week during this event, so that way you're getting a huge revenue of MGP. With that, I am going to go ahead and conclude stream. As I said at the start of stream, on Sunday I will be back with my Sprout. I will probably come back to the Gold Saucer at least for a little bit. So that way we can see some more of the Gold Saucer, get some MGP for her, because she definitely needs a lot of stuff from the Gold Saucer. Because, well, she's a Sprout. She's pretty new. This character has a decent number of things. She doesn't have the fashion accessories for the most part, because some of those are newer than the last time I did a whole bunch of Gold Saucer stuff. This character does still need Gold Saucer stuff, because there's always so much here. But we'll probably do at least a little bit in the Gold Saucer with my alt character, and then also do some more MSQ. She is still very early on in MSQ. We just got through Hockey Manor and are continuing to progress beyond that MSQ-wise, and trying to get Memphilia to tell us to pray return to the Waking Sands again. But thank you all so much for joining me. If you're not a part of the Discord or Fluxer servers, you could type in !Discord or !Fluxer. Those will get you links to those servers to be able to join them. There are a ton of tips and information in those servers. For instance, as I said, in the Discord server, that same image that I was talking about earlier in stream for the fashion report, that is in the FFXIV info channel. I am subscribed to her Discord server, and all of those alerts come up each week there. I'm also happy to share those in the Fluxer server manually. If anybody's uncomfortable with being in Discord, I completely understand that. But thank you all so much. I'm going to sign off before the commercial break. Have a wonderful and fantastic night. For any of you that are hanging out on Twitch, I will raid you out. Have a wonderful night, y'all.